Welcome to this debate of the week, and this is about Vince and if he can do the right thing. Guys, let's put this in perspective. I might be watching NXT TakeOver War Games. I might do a review of it. I don't know yet. I have not done any reviews of any shows of WWE in weeks. I just got turned off. I eventually just said, you know what? I am not happy. I am very frustrated. And not many people are interested in the videos anyway. I'm being honest here. I'm not saying you guys don't care. It's just that you don't really care about the Smackdown videos. You care more about my Impact reviews. Now you care about my AEW reviews to a certain extent. And NWA Power reviews. I've done now 3 videos and they've been over easily 30. And I thank you guys for that. But if you're not interested in something, me continuing it and me getting frustrated on top of that, there's no point in continuing. So I had to stop doing WWE completely other than the pay-per-view. Now, we got 2 pay-per-views. This one tonight, which is War Games, and the next day is going to be Survivor Series. So my question I'm posing to anyone who sees this video, because there's no guarantee you will Vince do the right thing? Let's put this in true perspective for the company itself. They just had 2 major moves for 2 of its shows. NXT is now on USA. To come, as they think of it, to combat. I really don't want to see AEW as a competitor to WWE. There's no point in it. Of course, it is what it is. WWE had no reason to put NXT on USA. They didn't. They didn't need to put it there so fast and so rushed, or even put it there at all. There was no point in it because of Cody Rhodes and the Bucks show. They felt like it was necessary. Now you got NXT on Wednesday night at the exact same slot, doing 2 hours just like AEW. Now you have Smackdown on its own on a Friday, which is not conflicting with Impact Wrestling. Impact is now gone to Tuesdays, which I feel is a better time for it. A lot more easier to be able to film and record and edit and send it out to you guys. Believe me, going to bed at 3 in the morning was not fun. But I always stay up late anyway. Anyway, when it comes down to it, the WWE has a major problem on its hands. For years, Raw has been getting so bad. SmackDown had a few moments of light, and then it went away. NXT has been the only thing the main fans who truly care about the company has been watching most of the time. What they've been seeing on Raw and SmackDown have been casual fans that just flip it on because, hell, they just flip it on. But now things are different. You got AEW, Cody and the Bucks show. You got Impact now moving from Friday at 10 to 12 to Tuesday at 8 to 10. And now NWA Power, yes, is on a Tuesday at 6. It comes out. But Billy Corgan's show, as simple as it is, and as old school as it is, has a strong following. They have over 100,000 people watching it to 200,000 people watching it. They don't have a TV deal yet. But at this rate, if Billy Corgan does this correctly, within the next 2 years, he could get onto a major or any type of network, maybe a major network. They may put him on a major network. So you're going to have NXT going up against AEW. You never know if NWA may actually do a good resurgence, and counting on what day is going to come on, could also be another competitor. And Impact Wrestling, even though right at this moment is not very strong, it's still being dealt with Anthem and working on Access TV. It could get some ground next year and the year before after that if they do what they need to do. So when it comes down to it, WWE on this Survivor Series, a signature pay-per-view where they're going to be seen, they're going to have more people seeing them because of what's going on a Wednesday and a Friday, particularly Friday with Fox 1, because they've been pushing hard. Will Vince do the right thing? Now, I'm sure a lot of people are going to say, yeah, he's got to. I don't believe so. This is my way of thinking. Let me crank this back. Since we've had the brand split, and I believe that started either 2013 or 14. You guys can tell me below. I just don't remember when the brand split was done. The brand split has been around for a bit of a time. I'm not exactly sure. Did they bring the brand split back in... Wait. The first draft was in 2016. So either around 14 or 16. I'm guessing 2016 we've had the brand split. Because that was the first... that was the first draft we've seen in quite a while. Because they stopped it for a while. Since then, Raw has dominated over SmackDown Live. Flat out. They have not won almost no matches in Survivor Series when it came to SmackDown. And like I said in my previous video about will NXT be the bitch in Survivor Series, every single time they've had a signature pay-per-view with both of them, and I'm talking about Raw and SmackDown, brand Supremacy, every match they had, maybe SmackDown won one match, but they always got their asses cleaned by Raw. In fact, before they stopped the brand split, what was it, around 2011? And then it went back, I think it was around 10 or 11, they stopped the brand split. And then by 16, they brought it back again. So before that, 2011, as far as I know, Raw dominated the majority of the time over SmackDown when they did the brand split. I'm not saying that SmackDown didn't win once in a while when it came to the show and matches, including the 5-on-5 elimination match at Survivor Series, but the majority of the time, Raw always beat SmackDown. When they revived the brand split again in 2016, every single time Raw beat SmackDown, and only SmackDown gained out of the entire show maybe one match they won, or maybe if they're lucky, two. When it came to the 5-on-5, they got slaughtered. Every single time. Now we have Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, which I've heard that the show is so overbooked. I don't know how they're going to make this work. Majority of their show is going to be very lengthy matches. And I'm definitely sure when it comes to the women, it's going to be 5-on-5 elimination match. It's going to be on the kickoff show. There's no way they're going to have the women along with the men. It's just not going to be enough room, enough time. They're going to have to put a good chunk on the kickoff show, and the rest is going to have to be on the main card. And honestly, NXT, I just don't see winning any matches whatsoever. I just don't. No matter if the majority of matches on the kickoff show on the main card. SmackDown. My belief is this when it comes to SmackDown. Who should be the one to get clearly the entire win of the entire show. Whether they have matches on the kickoff or if they have matches with Raw and NXT on the main card. They should be the one to win out because they just moved to FX1. Fox just gave nearly $1 billion, or did give $1 billion, to Vince to be on the show for at least 5 to 10 years. I don't know what the full contract is. I think it's 5 years, but it could be 10. I just don't know. But you would think Vince would say, well, I'm going to have to book SmackDown very strongly, and it's going to have to win. Because I just got $1 billion or nearly $1 billion from Fox. And then you think about NXT. NXT should come in second. Because with AEW being the one that Vince seemed to be thinking about as a competitor, you would think NXT should be second place. And do a really good showing even though they can't win over SmackDown. And Raw has to be sacrificed. It must be sacrificed. That's what I said in my previous debate of the week about NXT. If you're going to book it properly, if Vince truly believes that SmackDown and NXT needs to be spotlighted, Raw must be the bitch. It must get its ass kicked. Flat out, no questions asked. Since it's been winning 3 years in a row. Nearly 3 years, 2 or 3 years in a row. I believe I can't remember how long it's been since they've been doing the brand Supremacy on Survivor Series for the last couple of years. It just feels like it's important that SmackDown be first, NXT do a great showing but just slightly doesn't win, and Raw has to take a back seat. But I do believe that's not going to happen. For the majority of matches, this is what I believe is going to happen. When it comes to the mid-card, which will be the U.S. Championship, the North American Championship and the IC Championship, I just see Shinsuke Nakamura winning. I just don't see NXT winning. When it comes to the women, you might get Shayna Baszler winning, but honestly, I do believe Becky is going to win. And there's no way Bayley's going to survive it. Shayna Baszler could win. So that might be the one match they do win because she's a very strong woman. So she could win, but honestly, I think I doubt they're going to have Bayley do the pin, but Shayna Baszler probably will be eating the pin. When it comes to the men's title, well, actually, you can't do the men's title. I'm sure they're going to be doing an NXT title match, and they will be doing a Smackdown and Raw title match. I don't know who's going to win that. But when it comes to the 5-on-5-on-5 elimination match, honestly, I do not see anything good for NXT or SmackDown. I still believe that Raw is going to come on top. And the majority of matches that are in between the entire card that have mix of NXT stars working against Raw stars or NXT stars working against SmackDown stars, SmackDown will possibly come in second. No, it will come in second, a distant second. And then NXT is going to get maybe one win on the entire show. And when it's all said and done, honestly, WWE is going to get a really big backlash to this. Now, of course, I could be wrong. I could be 100% wrong about this. And Vince will realize that SmackDown needs to be in the lead and NXT needs to be booked very strongly. I just do not see NXT winning this due to the fact that it makes sense not to have NXT the dominant brand, as they say. Because honestly, you don't really gain anything for Royal Rumble. You don't get anything for Elimination Chamber. You don't get anything for WrestleMania from Brand Supremacy. Unless they state it on the show at the last minute where maybe the person who, well, the team that wins Brand Supremacy for the women and men, they get a spot at Royal Rumble. Or they get a spot at WrestleMania. That's if they do that, which they have never done that, but maybe they could. But my belief is this: Raw will beat everybody. SmackDown will come a distant second, and coming in way deeper in third, which will be a total embarrassment to Triple H, will be NXT. And everyone will give the WWE severe backlash for it. But this is just my point of view. You guys tell me below what you think Vince is going to do. Do you believe he's going to actually book SmackDown properly? Do you believe he's going to book Raw properly? Do you think he's going to book NXT properly? Do you actually believe SmackDown should be the one that wins? Or do you believe NXT should be ahead of SmackDown, then Raw? Tell me what you think. Have a good day. Have a good night. Peace.